Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Question says, a person with a low income is struggling to save money for a specific purpose. If the money reaches the nisab, and it has been 12 Hijri months, is zakat due on this money? There's no doubt about it. The zakat is due, regardless or indiscriminately of the intention. The person's status, I don't have a lot of money, I worked my life, money that sits for 12 months that you do not need for your day-to-day needs, zakat is due. How can I ever save money? First of all, the zakat that's due in the money isn't a lot. It's not going to hurt. As the Prophet ﷺ tells us, that the charity that's given for Allah's sake never depletes wealth. Rather, the meaning of the word zakat in the language of the Arabs means increase. Zakat linguistically doesn't mean tax. Interestingly enough, the word zakat is extracted from several meanings, and one of those meanings is an-nama'u wa ziyada, is excess, addition. And zakat also comes from purity, something being clean and pristine. So the money that you give, the 2.5 for whatever you're saving it for, marriage, college, whatever it may be, inshallah is only going to be means of barakah, of Allah giving you more and allowing that money to flourish. Continuity of goodness from the meanings of barakah. So yes, you have to pay zakat upon that wealth. I have siblings from the same father. Since childhood, they do not show love and much care for me as an adult. I have tried to stay in touch with them many times, but it is not reciprocated. Please advise according to Kitab and Sunnah. Assalamu alaikum. These things have happened to people who were better than you. At the time of the Messenger of Allah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, there were people who had dysfunctionality in their families. They try to keep good relations with their family members. I'm good to them, well, you see, the hadith says, and they're bad to me, they're nasty to me, they're negative to me. And the Messenger of Allah, he gave that person advice. Keep doing what you're doing. Don't worry about what they're doing. Allah will be there for you. Allah will always be there for you as long as you remain true to your values and your principles. So that's it. You try to be the best relative, brother, half-brother, whatever term is used, and if they don't reciprocate it, khas. Of course, that's going to be sad as a human being where we have feelings, but you try your best. You need to rest up to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and that's the Quran and the Sunnah. You do your duty, you do your job, and then you stand in front of Allah on the day of judgment. That's it. And if Allah doesn't allow a person to keep relations with you or take someone away from you, then there are other people that Allah will give you. Other family members, other relatives that will love you, that will appreciate you. Or people that aren't even from your bloodline. That's a fact. That's the true thickness of blood is thicker than water. The true blood is the blood of faith. I have brothers that I'm closer with, that I talk to more, I see more, I trust more, I eat with more than people that are related to me. Sad reality, but it is reality. You can't deny that. Something goes wrong. Assalamu alaikum, Shaykh, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to call you first instead of this one is from our blood. And of course, if you have someone that is related to you, is your family, and they're Muslim, and they're righteous, and they're upon the Sunnah, that's even what? It's even better. Wallahu ta'ala alam. No other questions from the brothers and sisters? Father, I think.
What's your advice on getting kids to be productive, not sleeping the whole day?
Means of being productive. Not sleeping the whole entire day, so on and so forth. Well, that's something that I need from my own self. To be productive. Not sleeping all day. Throwing away laziness. Procrastination. Making excuses. Having unrealistic dreams and ambitions, right? I've done many talks on this before with regards to in general, let alone for someone who's trying to be studious. In general, 9 to 5 Muslim, let alone someone who's trying to be studious. First and foremost is procrastination is from Shaitan. That's a fact. He's the one who, what they call him, what? The Sandman, right? It's reality. You ever read about what the Sandman is, where the Sandman comes from? He is magical sand. Dust, right? He blows when a person is trying to sleep and what? Go to sleep. You get a good night's rest, right? So just think about that. Think about someone with magical dust. You can be this. you can do this, you can go here, you can achieve this without sacrificing, without punishing yourself, torturing yourself, without giving up your money, without losing sleep. Just take your time, you can do it for an hour a day and you can achieve it. No doubt about it. That's magical what? Dust being blown on you. Those false dreams, fake dreams, at-tamanni is known in Arabic. So, speaking on all of those things that are all connected, number one, laziness and lethargy. Number two, false dreams, false hopes, extend too much hope. You're hoping more than you're striving. You magic saying, you can't be the champion, the MVP, and you're not working out in the gym, training hours out of the day, every single day. And the one who says, I'm going to be the MVP of the league, and he only takes a few shots every day, no doubt. He has magic dust being blown on him. So there's procrastination, there's laziness, there's tamanni, false hope, extended hope, right? And there are other problems and other elements. So what I would advise you with, because there are many different cures, is to read. You got to read about those great men and those great women. You have to become infected by their success stories, what they achieved, how much they learned, how much they taught. Or if it's dunya, there's nothing wrong with dunya, businessman. He started with a small, tiny hole-in-the-wall shop, and it became an iconic global conglomerate. What do you think the ambition and the drive was with that person? What sacrifice do you think he had to make? How much money that he didn't have? Think about that. Different companies, different brand names that we have that are household names. Guy started off on a corner selling hot dogs. Literally. In the cold, rain, freezing, right? People laughing at him, making jokes at him. Now look, his grandchildren are in 50-story high-rises. And the grandchildren or the great-grandchildren of those who made fun of him and laughed at him are buying his product or begging for money. So read those stories about the Salaf al-Salih, what they achieved of knowledge and hadith and ilm. Read the story about the righteous Muslims. Read the stories when it comes to worldly ambitions about those men and women who started off with nothing, who started from the bottom and look what they made it to. And inshallah, it'll have an effect on you. It'll push you. It'll make you go faster, make you go harder. And of course, there are other solutions. First and foremost is dua. And there are many different supplications for laziness, for lethargy, for weakness. There are different supplications that a person is to make for shooting himself in the foot, defeating your own self. There are many things that you can say, asking the Lord to protect you from, but we're talking about the tangible aspect as well. So I would refer you back to those lectures and those talks. I have a series which is called How to Become a Serious Student of Knowledge. Just if you're asking about knowledge. You may be asking about worldly things. But I have a series called How to Become a Serious Student of Knowledge. And in there we spoke on the do's and the don'ts of living in America or Canada or the UK. And we did a special section just on false hope, procrastination, and laziness. And how to become inspired from the people of the past, right? Hopefully the point is clear. Wallahu alam. Wa iyyakum. Alaykum salam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Concerning Umrah, if you miss one of the arcans of Umrah, and well, basically, what do you do?
If you ain't taking me on Umrah, I ain't answering your question.
2 shots in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm the Jamaat out here. You supposed to say, listen, Sheikh, I got your ticket, your visa, whatever you got to do for him, you coming, huh?
We had that conversation.
Handcuff.
We had that conversation.
Allahu Alam, Sheikh. I didn't get that text. What's important is, if you miss a pillar of Umrah, man, you jammed up. You jammed up for sure. La shak. You miss that major part of the Umrah. No pillar, no building. Alhamdulillah, Umrah is relatively simple in comparison to Hajj. The things that you have to do, The amount of time that it takes you to make Umrah, relatively simple. But for argument's sake, a person that had honestly forgotten, mathalan, you gotta go back, you gotta fix that, and alhamdulillah, you can do it again. It's not like Hajj.
So you repeat it. So if you did 6 tawafs.
Nah, that's the truth. A person forgetting something, and he has the time to go back and fix it and mend it, alhamdulillah. Hajj, different story. Next year, versus whatever went wrong, however happened, okay, leave Mecca, re-ihram, come back and knock it out. Wallahu a'lam. Clear, Sheikh? Wallahu a'lam. That's the beauty of Umrah, is that if something goes wrong, you can what? Let alone making more than one Umrah in one trip, etc. Wallahu a'lam. Allah bless your trip, I mean. Father, Akhi.
2 things. One, because something that you mentioned when you talk about missing the pillar. What about as far as a society missing the pillar of Islam, meaning zakat, establishment of it, and not having that? So do we really have Islam and what is needed?
Clear.
And be able to have that, because that's
When it comes to
a pillar.
For sure.
And it's a pillar. And without that pillar, then really
No building.
we have that, and we have the masjid, we have, we can do the zakat, we can do the hajj, and we can do, but I mean, all other things, but zakat.
Clear. Understood.
Or Jama'at.
That's a fact. Well, the simple answer is, without the details, is the person's going to have to fend for himself. It's not established. It's not set up. It's not properly laid out. So I'm going to calculate my money myself, and I'm going to give it the best way I can to those who are qualified for the zakat, if I have to. Some years back, before I finished school, I was in school, and I wanted to do a zakat workshop at a masjid. An intense class on zakat, on the basic ABCs, do's and don'ts. So I asked the brothers there, how many classes have you guys ever had on zakat? Nobody raised their hands. What do you mean? You've been Muslim 30 years. This masjid has been here all of these years. All of these books on the shelf, this scholar, fulan, blah, 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 blah. And you've never had a workshop on the pillar of Islam after Salah? Frightening, scary, terrifying rather. So there's been a lot of ignorance and ignoring of these pillars of the deen. It's not a sideshow. And not only is zakat a pillar of the religion, but it's a major part of society. A major part of society. There's the benefit with regards to Allah's worship, of course. And there's benefit for the people, the wealthy and the needy. Both need and benefit from the system of zakat. So the infrastructure of our communities, sad, oftentimes, with regards to the amount of ignorance that we have in our communities, with regards to the problems with leadership, problems with the people themselves, with regards to the different social ills that we suffer from, so on and so forth. And to be honest, not to go too far off the cliff, but just being honest, if you look at history of America and Islam in America, and how, like we said last night, about the early movements and early waves, whatever you want to call them, at the focal point, the center of their call and their movement was the society, was social change, was infrastructure. And the people, alhamdulillah, they learn about Islam, the true Islam, the correct Islam, the Quran and Sunnah, but for one strange reason or another, it seems as if they've strayed away from that. And they only focus on the theory. They only focus on this issue, that issue. But the social reform, change, tangible change, they just ignore it as if it's not a part of the deen. So how is that group or call, or those people, far from the truth when it comes to the aqidah and that which is correct in ilm, but the other stuff, light years ahead? And the point I'm trying to make is, if you read and you study about the early days of the Nation of Islam. And I'm sure many of you older brothers who are sitting in front of me know firsthand from experience, not from what I read in the book or saw in a documentary. Me being a young person, and some brothers may know from experience. Well, I'm talking about the early days, not the 70s or the 80s. I'm talking about the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the early days. You'd be shocked at some of the doctrine. You'd be shocked. Wallahi, some stuff. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Shams said it's sort of Asar out here. Where's out here, Shams? Where you at out here? You San Diego? Where you at, Shams? What's out here?